On translation of Rig Veda, you'll see that women were extremely strong even during. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine,
So good
ma'am.
to see you.
Me too.
So today you didn't sleep after school?
No, I just arrived. I quickly had a bath. I barely finished lunch before I remembered, oh, yes, I have a session.
Okay. All right. So what are we going to talk about? Have you checked your session notes?
Not really. I wanted to talk to you about something though.
Hmm. Sure.
Uh,
Go ahead.
like places and their histories and like all of that. Like if you go to a place and you visit a historic monument or something that is specifically important and significant to that place, like
Hmm.
are there any that come to your mind that you have really like an emotional attachment to or something?
I'm more emotionally attached to temples. You know,
Okay.
like it's not like that I have to go and visit any temple. I don't have that kind of a craving. But whenever I get an opportunity to go to a place, so I try to visit the nearby temples or architectural ruins or, whatever, scenic evidence I can reach out to at that point of time.
Yeah.
But whenever I've been to a temple, if it is a very ancient temple, I don't want to leave it and come back. It's always that, I want to visit again and again and again. That's when I keep on going back. If I'm staying for 3 days, I'll keep on going back to the temple.
Yeah, I can
Like
understand. I mean,
normally people they'll go visit once and they're done. They'll move to the next thing that's nearby. Or they'll plan out and they'll drive, say, 200 kilometers away from that place and they'll check out other places. For me, I'll go back again in the morning and visit, and again in the evening. I don't know why I do that. And when I start leaving that place, I'm always like, I want to come back. So
yeah.
this has happened so many times with me.
I mean, me too. Like whenever I visit a place that's very old, like for example, this March itself, like I went to Delhi. So with my sister, I roamed around, went to some of the new places and all as well. But like mostly, like the Sarojini Nagar and all. But like mostly when I went to Chandni Chowk, and then when I visited the Qutub Minar and everything, I was like, I don't want to leave this place just yet. It feels so magical just standing there among it all. And like when we visited Humayun's tomb, just touching all those walls and like just lying on the ground, looking up at that structure, like how old it is, and like imagining that the remains of such a great emperor is just like there
Mm.
uh, underneath all of that big dome and everything. Like it
It's a
was very,
magnificent feeling
yeah, it's like,
altogether.
and then we didn't want to leave it so bad because like we had other places as well we needed to go get to in the in our itinerary. But then and we were also very tired because we were using the like public transport here and there, autos, buses, metros and everything. So and we had to walk a lot as well, so we were very tired. When we finally got there, we just collapsed on the grass and we sat there for hours. It felt like, well, actually like maybe 30 minutes, but it felt like
Mm.
we were just there for hours just staring and staring and we couldn't get enough of it. And then like we finally got a tour, but then just like, and then inside, oh my god, inside was a whole other feeling. I felt like just let's just stay here for the rest of our lives.
I can understand. I connect to that kind of a feeling. Yes, it
Yeah.
happens with me also. Mm.
Mm.
But yes, I wouldn't say all temples because in Kerala, when I went to Padmanabhan temple in Trivandrum,
Mhm.
yes, I had the same kind of experience. But when I went to Guruvayu, I was contented. I was like one visit and I'm done. I
Yeah.
mean, it didn't happen with Guruvayu. I don't know why.
Mhm.
It again happened when I visited Tambakeshwar. That's in Maharashtra. Nothing.
Yeah, and then there's this book I'm reading currently. It's the Daughters of the Sun,
Hmm.
by Ira Mukhoti, and
Hmm.
it's so good. I mean, it gives a view in. It's a biography about
Hmm.
the women of the Mughal Empire, who were, like, we don't know about them, and we don't know about their history and their culture, and like Rani Lakshmi Bai and all of them, like, we know them, we have heard their names, but and Razia Sultan as well we have heard, but we don't know about Maham, who is Babur's wife. We don't know about other women, Roshanara, and other people, like all these women in the like Zanana. I think that's what it's called. I still, like, the pronunciation isn't sitting right in my head, because I am like harem is the word that comes to mind when we think of okay, a household only for women beside the
Hmm.
king's palace. But it's so different from what the Europeans, when they came to India, when they started exploiting our land, and then finally coming to a truce, like, okay, fine, we'll trade, we won't disturb you, we'll give you your percentage of tax and everything. But like during that time, like they have wrote such like big biographies about Akbar
Hmm.
and his court and like all the women and everything, and like they were so curious about it. But at the same time, if you look at the Mughal biographies, the Europeans were barely a footnote. Like they didn't even
Hmm.
care. Like they were, like, you could clearly see who was greater, because when the Europeans came, they were like, oh my god, such splendor, so such rich culture, and so much, like, just everything was so rich in everything. And all these and but the women were a big secret, because they didn't know, and they started imagining all these horrible things that were not true, because the women,
But
they were,
already the transformation had happened before the Europeans had come.
yeah.
Because if you look at the Portuguese and the French and the British coming in, but before that, we were not our authentic self. We had already gone through a transformation because there were various other invaders who had come in, and they were so awestruck with our culture. There was a lot of cultural exchange which had
Mhm.
happened during that point of time. And there was also intermarriage.
Yeah,
So probably we did not have our own identity at that point of time. The same kind of identity we read about in the Vedas. So it started becoming a little bit delusional by the
yeah,
time the Europeans had come,
yeah. Like, but like dude, like I'm talking about the like Mughal, like inside the,
particularly the Mughals.
yeah, inside the palace walls, what was going on. All of that
Absolutely.
affected.
Sometimes I feel, I should have a time travel machine and I should be able to go back to that era and I want to live that life
Of course, it's.
because
I
whatever
mean,
is written in history, it's only
yeah,
perspective. Little
and
that
like
we know about from the writings. Yes, yes.
yeah,
You please
I read
continue.
it somewhere. Yeah, I read it somewhere that like you have to change your mindset according to the like period of history you're reading about, and you have to change your mindset to the way their mindset was back then to be able to understand everything. Otherwise, we would judge every little thing, and we'd be like, "That is
Mhm.
so ridiculous. Why is it like that?" But the times were different, and everything was different, and thinking through that kind of mentality is the only way you'll actually get to understand history and really enjoy it and see it for the story that it is. We wouldn't be here right now the way we are if it wasn't that all those occurrences had happened back then.
Correct, correct. So if you have a chance to go back in history, yes, where would you see yourself?
During the Timurids, right? Before they became, like, they would be aghast to hear that they are known as the Mughals, because it's like the word for, like, the Persian word for Mongol, right? Which
Mhm.
they
Yes.
they were trying to distance themselves from that name. They are basically Genghis Khan's descendants, but at the
Yes.
same time, they were completely different. So they were the Timurids. So during the Timurid period, like in all of history, I feel that in my limited knowledge, I have seen that the most power that women held was during that point of time. I mean, if the matriarch says no, no king can deny them anything. So, or like if says that this has to happen, or you can't sit on that throne any longer, they have to listen to her. And the whole household that comprises of the children of the king and the relatives and paternal maternal aunts and all of like the older generation, like the great aunts and then the grandmothers and everyone, foster mothers, milk mothers and all of that, like the actual mothers, all of them like comprisingly, they were like so strong. And every time the king set out to an expedition or something, he would take advice from his his Anani, I'm not entirely sure again, but like during that time, that was the real original authentic name for them. So they would talk to them, he would take advice from them. And then after everything was over, after he achieved victory, so after achieving victory over his conquest, he would send back all these jewels and all these other gifts and everything to the women. And so at this point of history, like women were so, like rich, the Zanani of Babur and Humayun and all, like they were so strong because of the power that they had and
They were
all the
extremely
money.
powerful. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
But if
that
you get your hands on translation of Rig Veda, you'll see that women were extremely strong even during that point of time. Okay. Right. Yes. So I was saying that if you get your hands on Rig Veda,
yeah.
translation of Rig Veda, you will read through it that women were extremely, extremely powerful.
I
Within their
would,
household, they were extremely powerful.
yeah, I'd love to get like, is there any book you would
You
recommend that is about the Rig
you
Veda?
can go through. There's a lot of online material. There's a lot
Okay,
of online material. Yes.
all
Go
right,
through it.
that's
We're just on the last minute, but this was an awesome subject. I don't want this session to end. No,
I'll
stop
come
it.
back to you. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. I have another session,
Sure,
I think,
sure,
on the
sure.
3:40.
Okay, see you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye.